Okay, I had a little bit of good fortune yesterday. Reconnected with one of my old classmates from school who worked at the local TV station for about 12 years. And his family also owned a radio station in town. And to make a long story short, he got in touch with the engineer and the general manager of the local TV station and made arrangements for me to come raid the junk floor. And we'll make a little quick video of some of the things we picked up. Got this old Tektronix oscilloscope on the cart, and as you can see, it's missing some knobs, and I see a lot of empty holes here, so I'm a little bit afraid to pull the cover off, but I just wasn't going to let it sit there. And we got this old wall speaker. Looks like probably an office monitor speaker. Here's an old BE cart machine. These were commonly used in radio and TV stations for running commercials and other spots. Even some radio stations recorded music on carts. And here's a 1972 RCA Accucolor solid state colored TV. Well, obviously it's a color TV if it's Accucolor, in a metal cabinet. This is the model that has the tilt-out speaker with the controls, and I'm happy this has the standard controls and not those pesky slide controls. And let's see what else we got. Here's a little realistic cassette recorder. I think it records. It may just be a player. And here's some kind of mixer or something. I'm really not sure exactly what that is. Here's a leader waveform monitor, which is basically an oscilloscope. There's a realistic video distribution thing, whatever you want to call it. I figured this might come in handy for something. It's just basically a little amplifier to send a video signal to multiple sources. Here's a Bogan acoustic feedback controller that looks basically just like an equalizer. And what is this thing? This is one of those little realistic AV source selectors. Now that'll come in handy over here. And this is some switch panel that they made up. I mainly picked this up to get the switches off of. When I put my little Part 15 radio station together, I might need these type of switches to rig up some kind of remote start and stop panel for the turntables, cart machines, etc. Here's another panel that they rigged up. And another panel that they rigged up. Here's an old amp meter. Ain't no telling how old this is. Here's a wireless microphone receiver. And here's a 12-volt Sony power supply. Probably went with a monitor. Here's an old Philco portable radio, probably from the mid-50s. Unfortunately, the back cover has been opened so many times it's become separated from the rest of the case, but I'm going to try to devise some way to fix that. This is one of those AC battery operated portables. You can see I think it's a 3 or 4 tube set. There's a selenium rectifier. I guess it's probably from the mid-50s. Here's a Panasonic monitor from 1983. Says the CRT is shot. If I go back up there, which I probably will do one day, they had 2 or 3 more of those, so I may grab another one. And let's see what else we got. Here's another cart machine. This one's actually 3 machines in one, and I believe this one also records. Here's a little 8-inch Sony Trinitron monitor from 1999. And there's the back panel with all of the jacks on it. Thought that was kind of interesting. And last, here's not exactly sure what this is. It looks like some kind of portable amplifier and speaker. We'll open it up in just a minute and see. But yeah, I was looking up there in hopes to find an old rotary pot mixing board, but unfortunately there was no such thing to be found. And of course I was also looking for some turntables, but nothing like that either. Mainly what I saw up there was probably stuff no older than the 80s. Mainly old 3/4 inch U-matic machines in various stages of disrepair and computer stuff, and a whole bunch of monitors and various other bits and pieces of stuff. But I probably will go back up there one day in the near future and see what else I can come up with. They also had several Sony Vega Trinitron color TVs that they were using as monitors. They had the silver-cased flat CRT models, probably from the early 2000s. Most of what I saw were the 20-inch variety, although I saw 1 or 2 13-inch models. And the rest of the monitors I saw were either the little Sony monitors like this one that I just showed you, or there was some larger JVC and Panasonic monitors. Oh, it has tubes in it. And it is some type of amplifier. We have a 7025, a 6AQ5, and a 6X4 here. Have a stand core power transformer, as well as a stand core audio output transformer. Give you a look at the underside. I have no idea what they use this for, but it is some type of amplifier. And the name of this is an Etiquip, made in Hollywood, California, USA, if that helps any. Okay, well that about does it for the recent stash of equipment that I obtained, and I'll be making more in-depth videos once we analyze this stuff and see what kind of condition it's in. Okay, there you go. Thanks for watching, and more to come later. Okay, here's the inside of this RCA TV. You can see how well built it is with plug-in modules. I plugged it up, and all I could get was a faint high-pitched squeal with no high voltage. So I'm sure that's either caused by either of these SCRs down here or possibly the high voltage tripler. And I also seem to remember one of these filter capacitor cans opening up and causing that. Have the CRT cooking right now at about 8 volts. When I first checked it, it was dead, and it slowly started creeping up. So seeing as how this set hasn't been used in probably 25 years, thought I'd let it sit a while and cook. That's what we're reading now on 8 volts. Let's drop it back down to 6.3 and see what happens. And as you can see, it's falling back down. So yeah, this tube is kind of tired. And the label on the back of the set says 1972 model year, but the date on the delay line is April 1971. So this set was probably made mid-1971 for the 72 model year. And I think this was one of the first upright modular chassis. I'm not sure what the chassis is because the ink's faded. I'll have to cross-reference the model number and see, but it's Probably either going to be a CTC 46 or a CTC 48. And here's the CRT. It's 6.3 volts after it's had time to settle down, and this tube is pretty tired. This is the blue gun. That's the green gun. That's the red gun. And we ain't got nothing to lose. Let's put it over here on clean and balance and give it a little bump and see if that will help it. I'm bringing one of these tubes back to life. At first I like to let them cook. If that don't work, try to rejuvenate them. Okay, that's the blue. On this one you hold the rejuvenate button until the needle falls back down. And generally the longer the needle stays up, the more successful the rejuvenate process will be. And since this one's staying up a fairly long time, it might actually hold up okay. Might actually get enough life out of this tube until I can find a good replacement, which since this is a 21-inch tube, that might be kind of difficult. And by the way, I believe this TV does have instant on. That's where the CRT filament stays on all the time, no matter whether the TV is on or off. So I think that has a lot to do with a lot of these tubes going weak. Let's see how we test now. Yeah, let me readjust the cutoff here. Hang on. Okay, there's the red gun after a rejuvenation, green gun, and blue gun. So everything looks a lot better now. And we'll save the actual repair of the chassis for another video. Okay, there you go. Thanks for watching, and more to come later. Okay, I looked a little closer at the faded ink stamp, and this is a CTC 46A1. And I reduced the CRT filament voltage from 6.3 down to 5, and it's still holding in the green. So this tube will probably last a reasonable amount of time. Okay, there you go. That's it.